I look busted, crusty, dusty, and nasty. But we're not gonna judge me. I'm just one of those people. I'm one of those people that when I get inspired, I have to do something about it right now, because I will very quickly get unmotivated or just forget like what it was that I was trying to draw. Like I'll literally not remember. I'm gonna take the time right now to draw the idea that I have in my head, because in this moment I'm very excited about it. I might paint later today, but I really need to hop in the shower and stuff. But like I said, I need to get this drawn, otherwise I'm not gonna do it. So let's go. Let's get her done. The concept, for the most part, is like not a skull, but like a person who's empty but has like smoke rising through like the holes that their mouth and their eyes and their nose and such, and flowers and stuff are blooming from the inside. So let's hope I can, because I'll be talking a big game, and then I'll be drawing, I'll be like, what am I doing? Which is exactly why I need to start drawing more, because it makes no sense to be able, or at least to, in my opinion, be able to paint and not draw, or at least have like the fundamental, like a drawing that you like. I don't like the way that I draw, and I used to, which is why we need to work on it. But we'll work on it after I get some of this done. On this side, because you're just gonna see my hand. So I should follow my instinct, right? Like Shark Boy and Lava Girl. My instincts. All right. This is gonna be the roughest sketch you done ever seen in your life, but like I said, I just need to have this done. So for the most part, I'm wanting the head to be center. Oh Lord, you can't even see that. Can't really see that either. Maybe I'll just get closer. So bear with me. I don't know what I'm doing. Like I said, her head, I don't want it to, well, I do want it to be pretty big, because it's kind of like the center focus. This is why it's so important for me to draw as soon as I get inspiration, or like do something about it, because now that I have this like done on here, I'm so excited to paint it. You're getting a horrible angle, but this is what it looks like. It still looks bad, don't get me wrong, but the vision, it's the vision. So let's say this is, because this is gonna be empty, so it's gonna be black pretty much, and she'll have smoke coming from her eyes. These will be like her under eyes, but they'll be like real puffy and stuff, kind of like she was stressed before. Her mouth, her nose, all of it's kind of like smaller on the bottom. And yeah. Oh, you know what? I'll cut her head off. I'm gonna cut it off at the top, actually. Makes more sense to just be like, there's nothing there. Nothing there. Let the smoke rise. And that, ladies and gentlemen, will be our next painting. I actually do think I'm gonna go ahead and start pre-painting, because that only requires like red. I'm gonna use this brown as like my undertone, just so I can kind of get the shades and like, not really even just the shades, but just like the base layer going for the painting. Look at that, nasty. When you're doing under paintings, like just like the base layer of the painting, go in with just like paint. Don't be me, because I just use like my regular mixture that I just used to put this onto the brush, and I'm gonna have to wipe it off, and I just wasted it. But go in with like paint thinner first, so that you can come back like as soon as you need to and paint on it, because paint thinner will dry within like the next like couple minutes or so. If I can find where I put mine. Now guys, don't be breathing in paint thinner. And then we just paint her on there. When you're mixing with blue, use the smallest, babiest, tiniest, little dabbest of blue that you can use, because blue is one of those colors that just disrespects everybody else on the canvas or anybody else on the palette that you're trying to mix it with. So when I mix blue and with white and stuff, I'll literally take the cap. I'll use this. I'll use a mixing thing, because I don't know what they're called. Use one because they work better. But I'm not really trying to get this perfect, honestly, and I think it would be cute a little bit with like the streaks. Oh, see what I was talking about? Definitely didn't want to blue that door. So just to explain myself a little bit, I didn't want to add in the black just yet because I wanted to be able to move the colors around without worrying about the black just like demolishing the entire picture. So that's what I did. I painted her face a really light brown, I realized, and then wanted to go back and do a darker brown. I ended up just wiping off her entire face and kind of starting over with darker values. At this point in the painting, her face angle is up. You'll see later on that I ended up changing it to just face us straight forward. So that changes later on if you're like, wow, that looks bad. For at least this part, the underpainting part, I'm gonna let this dry. And if I paint again, you'll see me again. Oof. My sister bought me an easel. It's in the back. It's right there. But I found that I like painting on the floor because I like to be able to get in those cracks and crevices. So I'm on the floor still. This is what painting really looks like naturally, is your bonnet when you're relaxed and you're in a good mood and you're watching videos about plants and stuff and you're just having a good time. So have a good time with me. So I honestly thought I had a recording of me coloring in the black. I got in the mood to paint one day and I did in the black, and I did a little bit better of an underpainting, still just pretty much a standard underpainting though. But I didn't, so I'm sorry. I'm taking the hoodie off. Yeah, I thought I could get away with it. I can't. This is my actual painting outfit. I look so tacky. At this point, I realized that I didn't really want the face to be angled upwards anymore. So, well, a little bit earlier I realized that. You can tell by the shadows that I did on the face that at this point it's facing down pretty much, or facing toward us. I'm just finishing up filling in the darker values. Once I fill in the darker values, I put in the medium values and kind of blend those out. And yeah, that's pretty much what you're seeing me do here, and trying my best to just blend them around. I didn't even really wanted to try and avoid the holes where like the eyes and the mouth would be, because I felt like that would just put a lot of stress on me trying to make the holes like look like decent. So I was like, we'll just go over it and then go over it again with black. So you'll see at the end. At this point, I wanted to just go back in and sort of reestablish some of my dark values around the corners of the face and the ears and like the very top of the head. I wanted it to look kind of like she was sickly, like, you know, the sunken cheeks, you know, like sick. But yeah, I feel like I established that. I just wanted it to look a little bit more dark, and so you can see the features a little bit more, and then I would go back in and add in the black and like a few. You'll see that coming up soon. I'm usually a pretty thick painter, so I like to wait to add in the highlights. I really didn't even add in like big highlights or very bright highlights. I wait till like I'm pretty much done with the painting to do that. But I went ahead and established, like, you know, where like the higher areas of the face are, so you can see some of that going on here. I was struggling to figure out how the lips were gonna look, because I had filled in like the hole, like the black, like wasn't there. So I was like, okay, well, how big are the lips gonna be? And then I kind of had like a weird time making them. So yeah, you can see me struggle a little bit there. I tried my hardest. Eventually I just kind of ended up doing like a lighter color, like a beige-ish color, and hoping that it looked decent for whenever I filled it in. And then whenever I filled it in, I was just gonna correct it pretty much. So lips aren't looking too great, but they get fixed a little bit later on. You gotta realize she's supposed to be kind of sickly, so they're supposed to be chapped and stuff anyway, but still. So at this point, it's a few days later. I know that I just need to add the flowers that I want in and the smoke in, and I am just about done. So that is what you're going to be seeing here. So I started off first by blotching in the white flowers that I wanted. I knew that since they were the brightest, I would want them to be in the forefront, and I know that the way that I paint is kind of front to back, which is not really proper, but that's the way that I do it anyway. So I also then started to add in the pink or red colors, then the yellow. Like I said, that's why I added in the white first, because you see that I'm just kind of putting everything behind one another. I did eventually start to want to space it out because I felt like I was clumping everything together. At this point, I start to add in the lighter shades of the flowers. You could tell before that I was really just using primary colors and just the base color that I wanted for it. I'm kind of coming in now and really just using just straight white or straight pink to create the bright contrast that I want in the stargazer lilies, and inside just the pink flowers, and I'm making oranges and stuff like that just to tone it out and actually make it look like they're actual flowers. At this point, I was pretty satisfied with how the flowers were looking as far as like structure. So this was just me coming in and kind of nitpicking exactly where I wanted the highlights to be, as far as I really like having like chunky paintings and stuff like that with like thick goops of paint on it, and I felt like this would be like one of my last layers. So I just went in and kind of really thickened it up and made bright areas where I could and just texture where I could with the flowers. Came back in at this point and started to touch up on the lips. They were looking real just like a pink line across her face, so I really wanted to touch that up. I ended up not liking what I did the first time, as you can tell, and I wiped it off. But really I just put like some dark brown around the corner edges and like the center of her lips to give it a little bit more structure and point, and then just highlighted the highlight areas, and she was pretty fine from there. It's been a few days later. As you can tell, I added a couple of streaky lines, some smoke in the background since I had the day off. I didn't record it, so forgive me, but I think that it is pretty much done. So just comment down below how you feel. If you like it, like this video, and thanks for watching. Peace out. All right. It's not varnished yet, so once I have the gloss on, it'll look a